So hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in this tutorial video, we are gonna learn about how to create a basic registration form. Okay, so let's move forward to our form. So form, you need to write down here form tag. Okay, as you can see, I write down our form tag. So form tag defines an HTML form for a user input. For user input, it defines an form tag. Okay. Now let's move forward to as you can write down any form in previous or any right now. So as you can see in registration form, there's a first name, last name, number, email address, submit button. There are more many of them. So we are gonna take the basic of our first name, last name, phone number, email, password, and submit button. Okay, so these are the our covering this basic registration form. So let's start with our basic first name. Okay, so let's we take label. So browser can understand this is our first name and sample. Then save. As you can see, our first name. Okay. As you can see, anywhere when you write down any registration form, you can see here a square bracket type field area. Okay, so for that field area, you need to write down input tag. So input tag defines an input control, whichever you want to write. That is called our input control. That's why we need to write here input type. As you can see, there are more many button, checkbox, color, date, time, many. We need to write down in numbers and ABCD. For that, we need to write down our text. Okay, as you can see, for by text we can write here. If you didn't write any text here, then it didn't gonna show. As you can see, it's still right, but your browser cannot understand this type. Okay, that's why we need to write down here type text. Okay, then say okay. This is our basic to input our first name and our text field area. But you need to also give them ID, name. For that, you need to write down here in label for we our is first name. So let's write here F name. Okay. And in input our ID is F name, whichever we write upper. Okay. Now then give them the name is the same as F name. Let's close it. As you can see, this is our first name. Now let's write down our last name. Let's just copy this one, paste, give them L here, last name, change it here and here. Then save. As you can see, let's add some BR tag. Yeah, it's now proper method right now. So this is our last name. Okay. Now you can also change the size this text field area. For that you need to write down our size. The default size is uh, 20. So let's write down here 15. As you can see, this is our 15. If you write down 20, then this is our by default size is 20. That's why. Okay, let's write here 25. You can also write here size, sorry, 25. Okay, this is our first name, last name. Let's add some phone number. Okay, now for phone number, we need to write down our input type text. Okay, this is our text. and give them name and code. I just only write down here. After that, you can see which I want to say to you. Size 2. Okay, as you can see, our text field area is here. For name, we need to write down here our label. Then for, if you want to write down number or font, whichever you want, I write down font here. Then save. Some error here. Let's see which error. Yeah, I didn't close it. That's why. I'll press it. Yeah. We need to write down here. Okay. It's my mistake. Yeah. So this is our. Let's write down our name here. Font and code plus 91. Why? Because our India is 91 code. That's why I write down 91. And if you want to give the value, you can also give that. Let's give them value 91, our value, and code our country. Let's write down here our country code so browser can understand. Let's see. As you can see, our 91. This is our country code. This is our label. This is our input text field area. And 91 is our value. If you write down here 92, then it's gonna show 92. Let's see. As you can see, so our India is 91. That's why we made 91. Let's write down BR tag here. Then save. Now let's add some email here. Okay. As you can see, we previously write our label tag. Let's write down our for tag, email, so our input can understand email. Now let's move forward to our input tag. There's a one remaining in upper side, but we will write, don't worry. Just write down text. Then name, give them the same name as email. Then if you want to give them size, you can give that size 10 and save. As you can see, our size is 10 right now. Let's add some also new field here. Okay, let's add here input, type text, then name equals to font, then give them the size 10 and close. As you can see, let's just adjust here. Let's just please cut and paste it here. As you can see, this is our font 91 and you can write down your number here. Okay, as you can see. So that's what. Now we'll just paste here so it looks cool. Yeah, let's add here BR tag. Okay, as you can see, I write down our email for that here. Okay, now let's move forward to our password. That's important here, so don't forget. Let's write down here our label for. Let's write down here PWD password. If you also, let's write here p tag for bold, password. Now save. As you can see, our password is here. Let's also write down here br tag to, yeah. So this is our password is in red mark. Let's write down our input tag, type. In password, you need to write down here type password. Okay, it's basically specified here. For that, we need to write down here type equals to password. Now, let's add some here name, which we write in our for tab for PWD. Then ID is also same as PWD. Then save. Then yeah, clear. This is our password. As you can see, we can write. As you can see, when we write password type here, as you can see, we write type password. That's why it's showing like this. Okay. If you write text field, it's also work, but in type text field, it's only write down. For that, we use text. But for password, we need to write down here type password. Okay. As you can see, that's why. Now let's add some here submit button. Okay. For submit button, we need to write down input type submit, then value submit, then save. As you can see, our submit button is here. Let's write down more BR tag. Yeah, as you can see, this is for our submit button. If you want to, if when we let's add some also here. Our enter your name here like this. For that, you need to write down here our placeholder. Placeholder equals to enter your name. Let's write down enter your first name, then save. As you can see that enter your first name, we write down in label last name. That's why. Let's just copy this one and paste it here and leave that here last name, then save. As you can see, enter your first name, enter your last name. Let's also write it like this, placeholder equals to number. Let's only write here number. Okay, number. Now let's write here placeholder, enter email here. As you can see, now let's add also here as same as our placeholder. So that's why we use placeholder. Okay guys, placeholder password here, then save. So that's what is basically we use our placeholder. As you can see, this is our password, but password is mandatory for the registration form. You can also give that here. We plus C or submit button. This submit button is working as you can see. Let's write down here, here. Let's give the number. Okay, and give the number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then submit. As you can see, our submit button is working right now. But when you submit, then it's showing our new file that your registration is complete. For that, we created our done HTML. As you can see, registration done. So let's uh, put it here in form tag. Action. Action is basically the form. In form, we use action. In previous video, we learned we use link and we uh, type for the match the file. But in form, you need to write down our action and then HTML, then save. As you can see, when we submit, it's gonna show like registration done. Now you can also create a like target. Let's write down target. In previous video we learned, let's write down blank, then refresh it, then submit. As you can see, it's open in a new file, okay, new window. That's why we use blank target, okay. So this is for our basic registration form, but let's add some also here. Password is mandatory. For that, we need to write down just simply here required, then save. As you can see, this is our, when we click here submit, it didn't go to the our action page because we decided here password is required. When you write down password, it's gonna like work. But if you don't write any password, let's just clear this one. So this is gonna show error. As you can see, let's submit. You can also reset this password, but we will learn about in next tutorial video. So that's for the all today guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.